Hey there, it's me Ilham, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another window manager series. As the title says, the window manager for this series is Sway. Now, what's Sway? Sway is a tiling window manager for the Wayland display server and a drop-in replacement for the i3 window manager for the X display server, xorg. It works with your existing i3WM configuration. That is, if you use i3 and have a config, and supports most of i3's features, plus a few extras. Sway is documented via man pages. Just read the man page using man sway. Although I don't have man installed. Now, for this tutorial, I'll be using Arch Linux, aka the Arch Linux I installed, the Arch Linux installation I installed on my Arch Linux installation EFI video. I'll be sure to leave a link on the top right corner, card thing. Alright, so as I said, I'll be using Arch Linux because all the other distros I tried in virtual machines just don't want to work with Sway. Although I can guarantee you that Sway is going to work with basically any distribution in the planet on physical hardware. And I'll just do a basic configuration today to get y'all up and started on Sway. Although don't worry, I'll be showing you how to customize it throughout the series. The packages I'll be installing today are Sway, the window manager itself, Wayland, the display server, xorg-xwayland for X11 support in Wayland, a terminal. I'll be installing alacritty. Sway recommends alacritty, although it expects for it to be installed by default, but we can change that in the config file. Wofi, which is the Wayland version of Wofi, a run launcher for xorg, as well as a web browser, and pulseaudio. Be sure to use your respectable package manager. In my case, it's pacman, but in your case, it could be let's say it could be sudo apt install instead of pacman-s, or it could be sudo dnf install. But yeah, in my case, it's pacman. Enter a number, default of course. Enter a number, obviously default. And proceed with installation. Yes. This shouldn't take that long. And yeah, I'll be right back once the packages have finished installing. That didn't take much long. That was actually quite the fast install. But before we do anything, let's make a directory called in our .config folder called Sway. And then let's copy over the Sway config file over to .config/sway and then config. So now if we do a .ls in Sway, as you can see, there's a file called config. So now let's open the config sway, the .config sway config file, and change the default terminal from foot to alacritty and a bunch of other things. .config sway config. As you can see, the terminal is set to foot, but let's change that to alacritty. As well as, while we're here, let's also change the default menu, which is going to be the menu, but we're going to be using wofi as I told you before. So let's change this with set menu and then exec wofi --show drun. And also, you don't have to add the following line about it to add. It's just so I can fix my resolution. So what I'll be doing is output, and then virtual1, and then res 1366 by 768. Let's save and exit. And now let's execute Sway. and see if it launches. There we go. Display has launched. To open the terminal, it's mod plus enter. By default, the mod key is the super key, which is the Windows key, if y'all don't know. You can change the mod key, but I recommend keeping it as the super key. To open your run launcher, it's mod D. Pretty sick. Oh, and as you can see, wofi launches if we do that. Anyway, let's now run pulse audio dash capital D in the terminal to run pulse audio as a daemon, which is a background process. Now let's reboot our system for the pulse audio daemon to properly start. Plus, there's another thing I want to show you in the TTY. Okay, wow, that is quite the graphical bug. Push Linux, and this shouldn't take that long. Yeah, next time I'm probably going to use Artix Linux. Run it is so much faster than systemd. And just a spoiler, the next video might be on Artix Linux. Who knows? Shush, don't tell anyone about this. Alright, so the system has finished rebooting. Let's now open our shell rc/config file. In my case, it's bash rc. And yes, I did something because it wouldn't really render my cursor. I tested this before in a separate virtual machine where it wouldn't render my cursor, so just to avoid issues in the video, I did export WLR no hardware cursor, etc, etc. So now let's now enter if, and then these brackets, quotation, and then $, and then brackets, TTY, and then again equals to, and then slash dev slash TTY1, then exec dbus run session sway, and then let's add an fi at the end to start auto start sway upon logging in from TTY. Let's exit from the current session using exit and log back in. Oh wait. Yeah, okay, I missed a bracket. Oof. Wait, what? I didn't. Where is it telling me that? Alright, let me check something real quick. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. Why does it say there's some missing? Let me just run. Wait, what? Control C, QA. Okay, let me just run source.bash rc. Missing film. Alright, so it's telling me that there's. Oh, wait. I think it's this. I should add a space. Now, if I run a source again. Yeah, it should now launch Sway. That is if everything goes correctly. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's great. So yeah, you need spaces and stuff. Alright, so the next thing I'll be showing you guys is how to change the wallpaper from the default Sway one. So let's open Firefox, Super D, and then open Firefox. This is probably going to take some time. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, it didn't really take that long. And now let's just find a random Google image. I'm just going to be searching Japanese wallpaper because I'm a normie. Dang, this is a bit slow. Change default language to English. And now let's choose a nice looking wallpaper. Dang, Firefox is so slow in a virtual machine. Yikes. Alright, which one? Which one? Probably this. This one looks nice. I don't know why it says, okay, this is so sluggish, help. Man, this is why I avoid like using Firefox in a virtual machine. Like really, this is so slow. Okay, now it finally decided to open. Sorry guys for wasting your time, but dang, doesn't this take a while. Finally, it's about time. Save image as, and then watch it take another billion years. Out my eyes. Alright, so let's save it as in, let's save it in our home directory, and let's create a folder called pictures. And in pictures, let's create a folder called wallpapers. And then over in wallpapers, let's change the name to wallpaper.png. Because why not? And it should have finished downloading. Yes, it has. And now, to close an app, or, you know, a window, it's Super Shift Q. I'll be showing you how to change that in a later video. So now let's change the wallpaper. So let's open our config file, vim/config sway config, and now as you can see, it's this one, right? Let's change this bit to our default, the location we saved the wallpaper in. So it's gonna be /home pictures wallpaper/wallpaper.png. Control C WQ. Let's just do an ls in pictures. Okay, yes. So now let's reload Sway. To reload Sway, it's gonna be mod shift C, and there we go. We have changed the wallpaper. Anyways guys, that should be it for this episode of All Things Sway. If you have found this video useful, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload, and side by side help me grow in the Unix tubing community. Now until next time, stay safe, stay well, and peace.